Mary Wilsey had been confined to her home on the North Carolina coast for about a week, spending almost every moment monitoring her 18-year-old son, who was suicidal. Other than leaving the room to use the bathroom, she stayed by her son's side. Her son, Keith Vidal, had been diagnosed with schizophrenia and was in a mental health crisis. She tried to have him hospitalized on December 27, 2014, but a nurse turned him away after telling her that he wasn't having thoughts about harming himself or others. Wilsey knew he was lying. She found a suicide note. Just over a week later, with no change in his behavior, the family turned to the police to ensure Vidal would get treatment. Instead, an officer shot Vidal dead in his home. We were more concerned that Keith was going to hurt himself. We were never concerned for our safety, because he was never a threat to anybody but himself, Wilsey told Insider. On the morning of January 5, 2014, Wilsey had just returned from a grocery store run. She said her son didn't recognize her. Wilsey's husband, Vidal's stepfather, called 911. We explained to 911 dispatch that we have a child who has schizophrenia and that we wanted to do an involuntary commitment, Wilsey said. 2 officers responded. One had been to the home a few days earlier to try to take Vidal to the hospital for a medication adjustment and was familiar with his situation. Officer John Thomas, from the small Boiling Spring Lakes Police Department, and Samantha Lewis-Chavis, a deputy with the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office, were patient with Vidal, who holding a small screwdriver, Wilsey told Insider. They attempted to de-escalate the situation by asking him if they could take him to the hospital to adjust his medication, his mother said. They also asked him how he was feeling and tried to talk with him. Vidal, who was experiencing severe paranoia, was standing in the hallway, demanding that the officers leave the house. After about 5 minutes, another officer, Detective Bryon Vassey of the nearby Southport Police Department, came through the front door wearing plain clothes. He didn't identify himself, Wilsey said. I didn't even know who he was. I didn't even know he was a cop, Wilsey told Insider. He took approximately 8 steps to reach Samantha Chavis and said, I don't have time for this shit. Lewis-Chavis later testified in court that Vassey said something along those lines. Vidal ran into the bathroom. When he came back out, Lewis-Chavis used her stun gun, at Vassey's request, and Vidal fell to the ground, according to Wilsey and Lewis-Chavis' testimony. Thomas climbed on top of him to take him into custody. Lewis-Chavis was also trying to get the situation under control. So you have Keith on the floor, 2 cops on top of him, another cop to my left, and me and my husband all in the hallway, Wilsey recalled.